The legend of George "Machine Gun" Kelly has captivated the American imagination for decades. But did you know that his most famous words might never have been uttered at all? Let's dive into the fascinating story behind this myth and how it grew to become a part of FBI lore. It all began with a brazen kidnapping that shocked the nation. On July 22, 1933, oil tycoon Charles Urschel was snatched from his Oklahoma City home by two armed men. The kidnappers demanded a hefty ransom, and the Bureau of Investigation, predecessor to the FBI, was called in to handle the case. As the investigation unfolded, tension mounted. The kidnappers set their price at $200,000, an enormous sum in those days. Urschel's family, desperate to secure his safe return, agreed to pay. 9 days after his abduction, Urschel was released unharmed, but the case was far from over. The Bureau, led by the ambitious J. Edgar Hoover, launched a massive manhunt. Agents combed through evidence, interviewed witnesses, and followed leads across multiple states. Their relentless pursuit finally paid off on September 26, 1933, when they cornered George Kelly and his wife Catherine in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, here's where the story takes an interesting turn. For years, it was widely believed that Kelly, upon seeing the agents, dropped his weapon and cried out, "Don't shoot, G-men! Don't shoot!" It's a dramatic scene, one that paints the picture of a feared gangster cowering before the might of federal law enforcement. But did it really happen that way? The truth, it seems, is far less cinematic. The earliest mention of this supposed surrender comes from a Philadelphia newspaper article published months after Kelly's arrest. In this version, Kelly reportedly said, "It was them G's. Them G's would have slaughtered me." It's a far cry from the polished, quotable line we've come to know. It wasn't until even later that writer Rex Collier penned the myth as we now know it, cementing the phrase, "Don't shoot, G-men," in the public consciousness. This embellished version of events quickly took hold, spreading through news reports, books, and eventually, popular culture. By April 1935, the image of the FBI agent as a G-man had become firmly entrenched in American society. The release of the movie G-Men, starring James Cagney, marked a turning point. The film was a smash hit, spawning a wave of G-Men-themed entertainment that included more movies, comic books, radio shows, and even toys and games. The legend of Machine Gun Kelly and his supposed surrender to the G-Men had taken on a life of its own. It became a symbol of the FBI's growing power and mystique, a story that captured the public's imagination and helped shape the Bureau's image for years to come. But why did this myth persist? Perhaps it's because it fits so neatly into the narrative of law and order triumphing over crime. The idea of a notorious gangster meekly surrendering to federal agents was too good a story to pass up, regardless of its accuracy. As we look back on this chapter of American history, it's important to separate fact from fiction. While the capture of Machine Gun Kelly was undoubtedly a significant victory for the Bureau, the dramatic surrender we've come to associate with it likely never happened. This tale serves as a reminder of how easily myths can take root and grow, especially when they align with our desire for compelling narratives. It also highlights the power of media and popular culture in shaping our perceptions of historical events. In the end, the true story of Machine Gun Kelly's capture may be less dramatic than the legend, but it's no less fascinating. It's a tale of determined law enforcement, a nation gripped by the exploits of gangsters, and the birth of the FBI as we know it today. So the next time you hear someone quote Kelly's famous last words, remember the real story behind the myth. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.